Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Ciao, I have a beautiful collection. It's called An Artist's Journey, and we have this gorgeous creative pad in the A4 size, and then also this paper pad in 8x8. You guys, the art is amazing and beautiful and so fun to work with, and I made this card using both of the paper packs. I can't wait to show you more, and this is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around you'll learn how one lucky viewer could win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a look at this 8x8 paper pad. You're getting one each of 12 double-sided papers and then one extra free specialty sheet, which is really cool. All right, so let's take a look. I love that the cover is even segmented so you could actually cut this apart as well. Okay, now we've got this beautiful scene here, and with this ocean and the winter and the little village and the art palette, all these little sentiments here. All right, look at that with the lighthouse. Up here you've got the compass, got some like crinkled paper up here, and then this beautiful seascape. And then you've got this really cool nautical map. And then on the other side, when I used this paper originally, I didn't notice the icebreaker right here. Isn't that so cool? Wow. And then we've got this one with sort of a collage on this right side with the paint palette and the color wheel and things like that. And then you've got this beautiful view and the artist setup right here. You've got our wood. My mother was an oil painter, and this is very reminiscent of her workspace. So you've got all the layered papers, the splotched paint, little script over here. And then this one you could divide into 4 different pieces, little card toppers, little things like that. And then on the back, lots of healing paint in that beautiful red color. And then here you've got, there's lots of doors sort of hidden. This is like a hidden picture. I love this. So there's windows here, doors, paint brushes, lock and key. It's just a very cool collage with like a letterbox. And then on the side, the bubbling layers of paint is so cool. This is like a metallic one up here as well. Okay, now you've got this 6 divided little pictures, which are so cool. And then on the other side, this same red color again and this chipped paint. And then this one, a really beautiful collage with seashells, letters, paint palettes. And then on the other side, this really beautiful sort of nautical stripe with the different colors of painted wood. And this one, another collage with all of these fantastic paintings of ships. Really cool. And then on the other side, we've got just a really cool collection of, looks like paint and bubbles. This one is my favorite. Just this artist palette and box of pastels and chalks and paintbrushes and just all the tools that artists use. Really beautiful. And then we've got like the palette, like you would use a palette knife. This is all paletted paint. And then another one with all of the little paint palettes and paint chips. Really cool. Color wheel. And then this, you've got all the little tools. You've got different paint brushes, palette knives, pencils, pens, all creating this really cool background. And then this one looks like sort of a linen print, so the seascape almost printed on a linen finish. And on the other side, got the beautiful studio with the artist in the window. And then the last one, the specialty paper, it's blue on one side and cream color on the other side, and it's like a canvas material. It's got a texture. It just feels just like a canvas. It's really cool. This would be great using some just watercolor wash on that. Very cool. All right, now let's take a look at the creative pad. You're getting one each of 9 double-sided papers, okay? As always, They're made in Italy. 17 designs of ephemera and elements, 1 additional design on the cover with 4 cards. So these are what they're calling 4 cards. Okay, on the back side, and a lot of these are repeated images from the 8x8. Some are larger from the 8x8, but they also have lots more with them. And that's why we recommend using them together. A lot of you just have a really hard time cutting into beautiful paper that has something beautiful on the back side, and we get it. That's why we're including the 8x8 paper pad, so it makes that process a little bit easier. Love the paint palette, love the compass. Look at all these beautiful art-inspired and ocean-inspired just tags and cutouts. Beautiful. Okay, there's that red paint and a chipped paint in a much larger format. Here are the little toppers in a rectangular format. This is the enlarged picture of the 8x8 I showed you, which looked like it was printed on linen. All of these beautiful cutouts. Pause to read them. And then on the other side, you've got script down here and then lots of chipped paint. I love the tags. The layering elements on the tags that are already collaged are just so handy. And then look at this one, this little scene. Okay, now we have an enlarged view of the palette knife and the paint brushes and the pencils and the charcoal and everything. All right. Got some little larger toppers here. And on the back side, beautiful. And then this one, I love the little seashells. Art is not what you see, not just what you see, it's what you feel. Highly agree with that. And then striped wood. And then all of these little, they're almost like little art cards. Are so cute. And then on the back side, your little seashells. The same one with the paint, and then on the back side. Okay, so much to use, so much to show you. All right, so let's start with this one. This, you guys, started out as a 7x5 tent fold card, okay, like this with the fold at the top. I turned it and put the tent fold on the right side. And then, this is 7 inches wide, I cut 3.5 inches from the card front, leaving this flap, right? Then covered the inside of the card, the flap on the inside, and the flap on the outside, all right? There's also a little pocket right here. Then, for this card, I'm gonna have to get my ruler because I can't remember. I just took a 5x7 card, and then, or rather, I took a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and I just cut it down. So it's 5 inches wide and 3.5 inches. So it's 5 by 3.5 inches. Covered the outside of that with some of that beautiful barn striped barnwood paper that's got the stripes on it. Let me see if I can grab it right here. Okay. I used that from the 8x8 paper pack, and pretty much went back and forth between the creative pack and the 8x8 paper pack in creating all these projects today. But covered that using the 8x8 paper pad, and then foam taped this little cutout right there, and then inked the edges of these, you guys, using Air Force Blue ink, just a really nice, almost denim-y shade of blue. And then glued that to the card front. And then I used these little fancy Border Dazzle stickers that have these little swirls on them. Okay, they just seemed kind of oceany to me. Place those all around the edges, okay? And then on the inside, used from the 8x8 paper pack, that palette, used another dazzle on this side, and then just took a scrap of the wood that had on the front, put that right there, and then just overlap that with a little tag. Then this card got glued to the center. What I did was I went ahead and shut the flap, and then I glued it so that it had equal space all around the edges, okay? And then added another dazzle sticker here, and then here once I had covered this spot, this is that icebreaker with the ship on it, that paper I was telling you about. I used that, and then just took another little scrap and just glued it right here, but only on 3 sides. Put another one of the dazzles from this sheet. You can buy this by the sheet, right across the top, and then added, this is our 500 greetings dazzle stickers, and it's from, these are script greetings, so they come in all these different colors. Okay, and then in each one of the colors you get 3 different selections of greetings in 3 different colors. So it's quite the pack, and there's 500 of them. I used the little white ones to put sending smiles, and then just, yeah, utilize that little pocket. So cute. And then every color tells a story for the greeting. This was a fun one to put together. All right, so this next one, you guys, here is this one. All right, so this one is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and this one's got a little bit of an interesting like topper and a closure on it. So you lift it out like this. Okay, and then you've got your little flaps, which I used a stencil on those, and then you open this up, more stenciling on the sides, and then you've got this really beautiful paper from the Creative Pack, and then added more of those script greeting dazzle stickers there. So let me show you how I put this one together. So we started off with a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and then I used my scoreboard, opened up my card, and I scored that at 2.5 inches on this side, because of course this is a 5 inch wide card. So halfway, and then halfway on this side, all right? And then before folding them to the inside, just put your card back together, and then we're gonna take our paper trimmer, and we're just trimming off about just a little bit more than 1/4 inch. Ooh, I need to change that blade. It is really dull. There we go. All right, so then once that's done, then open this up, and then go ahead and take your flaps and go folding them to the center like this, all right? This space in the center needs to be, ooh, really blurry. This space in the center needs to be a little bit more than 1/2 inch wide, because we're using from our mechanism 1/2 inch wide foam tape, all right? And the 1/2 inch wide foam tape came from our giant wheel of foam tape, all right? It's 150 feet or 50 yards of continuous 1/2 inch wide foam tape. Debbie, I love that one. And then you're just gonna take really a scrap of white cardstock, and this is almost 3 inches by 5 inches, all right? And on the center of that, you're adding your 1/2 inch wide foam tape right down the center of that, okay? And then, before I went any farther, I took my little swirl stencil, just like this, and I used my craft mat. Grab that. Open this up. And I'm using my stencil. And my stencil is not as tall. It's a 6 by 6, and this is a 6.5 inch wide. But we're going to accommodate for that. And we're going to use our Air Force blue. Okay, and then just holding this in place. I didn't even bother taping it down, because we just don't really need to have a perfect coverage on this. Just like that. And then you can just sort of move it down a little bit. You don't even have to align that. And then just go like that. Okay? And I did that on the other side as well, and on the inside. All right? So then we get to this part right here. And I'm going to measure this so you can see. This is measuring at 1/2 inch wide, and my tape is actually, it says it's 1/2 inch wide tape, but the tape is actually like just a shade under, like 1/16 inch smaller than a 1/2 inch wide. My point being, once you get that done, you want to be able to slide this freely up and down this little tunnel that we're making, like that. All right, so what I did was I went ahead and I put this right here in the center. You'll notice I did cover, the back with paper, because if you don't, then your card kind of goes like this. Okay, so you need to have a nice firm surface. So we're going to put this right here. And then I took one of these large toppers. On this one, I actually matted it with some patterned paper to increase the size of it. But I'm just going to show you what it looks like this, because I thought you'd get a better view of it. You're going to take this off. Ugh. There we go. And then you're just going to place this, center that right there. Now, of course, this looks better if it's covered like this, okay? But then this is just going to slide in and out, that mechanism. So you kind of just made a little sandwich around the foam tape. All right, so it's very easy to do, but it's kind of something special when you're giving that to a friend. Then I went back and I used those same Script Dazzle stickers. Happy birthday there. This piece is foam taped to this background piece, and then you've got that little foam tape sandwich in the back of it. I decorated this with some more of those Script Greeting Dazzles. Mine was a little bit too long, so I just used some tiny scissors to trim the ends of those script greetings. And then I added some of these Song of the Sea blue paper flowers in little clusters. And then also, these are kiwi colored crystals, these little green crystals. And I just used our Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue and placed it into one of these little fine tip bottles, and then just added that. And it was really easy to add the little crystals that way. Now, when you're ready to thread this back on for mailing to your friend, you just kind of open it like this, and then you just thread on one side, thread on the other side. It's actually easier if you just put it down on the ground, like this. Come on, Lene. It's not that hard. Okay, and then it's just going to go up and down. So it just makes a really pretty presentation, something a little different for you guys. All right, so the next card to show you is a 5 by 6.5 inch card that I showed you. This is our giveaway card. All right, so I'm going to tell you about it, and then we'll tell you about the giveaway. So I used some scraps of paper that I had left over. So we have this beautiful paint palette background from the 8 by 8 paper pad. Okay, and that one is, see if I can find it. Yep, this one right here. And then I had a little bit of paper left over from this little palette paper, and I just put a little strip here. So you can see there's a line of the card here, and there's a little bit of white space right there. I took one of the little card topper pieces, okay, just like this one, inked the edges with blue, and then glued that there. Then I cut out from the creative pack the compass, the little paint tube, and also the seashell, and I used foam tape on the back of those. And then, you guys, I added these really sweet, they're called Petite Dazzle stickers, and they come in a pack like this, and they have little frames on them, little birds, little butterflies, little tiny sayings in these colors. I used the silver and just added this little circle right here over the printed compass. Some of these little flourishes are coming out here. I added these little, well, they're kind of circles, but they have little sunbursts on them. I put them there, and then a little flower right there. Just really an easy one to do. And you guys, how we do our card giveaway is we're promoting our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So we ask you hop on over to YouTube And our channel is called My Paper Wishes. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, give us a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we'll say, congratulations, YouTube username blank, and give that winner instructions on how to claim their card. If you don't remember your YouTube username, just go back and look at your comment, and that's what's labeling your comment, is your YouTube username. So yeah, we do this 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. If I'm hosting it, Lene, then I'm doing a card giveaway. So definitely check that out. It's a good idea to hit that notification bell for YouTube at the top right-hand corner, so that way you know when we're trying to get a hold of you, either to tell you we've dropped a new video or that we're announcing a card winner. So definitely check that out. Okay, now the last thing I have is a little artist journal, okay? You can get this supplies down below the video. So what I have done here is I've covered a page, all right? But I trimmed the paper down to the size of the page, okay? However, I only glued it right here. I left it open on this side because I wanted to do a page tip out page. Tip out page is when you add another little flap, okay? And then you can just glue this right in there, and then you can expand your journal that way. All right, so what I have done is I went ahead and I cut another page the same size as this page, and then I took my scoreboard and I went ahead and scored this. Let's see, that's about a ½ inch from the left side, and then I took this little corner rounder, which is so nice because all of these journal corners are rounded, and then I just folded this over, and then I just went ahead and cut that so that they're already rounded. And now what I'm going to do is glue this in place. My little fine tip bottle with Cosmic Shimmer glue in it. And just running a line of glue right next to the fold is very important. And then also on the back side of this, because we're going to sandwich this between the patterned paper on this page right here and also the book page. And I also want to add a little bit more glue here. Okay, and then we're going to take this page right there. All right, so then we just have our nice little tip out, just like that. It's very nice. Right here, I wanted to add just sort of a little handle there, because if you don't have something there, it kind of looks like it's not a tip out. So I just took a circle cutting die right here, or you could use a circle punch. I punched that out from some scrap paper, folded that in half, and then I used those same little petite dazzle stickers and added Be True right there. Right here, I took one of the cutouts and I glued it to my page only on 3 sides. I left the top open, took some of that really cute palette paper, just a little rectangle of that, I cut the shoulders off the top, added another one of those little circles, and then we've got ourselves a little tag right here. There we go. You'll notice on the corners here, I added from those little petite dazzles, these little page corners. This is one of the little tag cutouts. Just add that right there for a little place to write. You can see I did add my little swirl stencil to the white page here and just up in the corner here as well. Then I added some more of those little petite dazzle stickers here. I took some elements that were little cutouts. I tore this one, I cut these out, and I just layered them as a little border, and then I added some more of those adorable little blue flower stickers. They're really low profile and thin, so they work really nicely there. And then this tag I just glued at the top, so if you wanted to glue like a photo or something in there, you could absolutely do that and then glue that down. So I have a couple other things that we can add to this as well. So for on this side of the page, you could leave this one with a pretty picture, but on this side, I went ahead and I cut out one of the pictures and I put this just on some gray cardstock. I'll give you the measurements for this. It is 3 inches wide, and then it's 5 1/4 inches tall, and then I just scored that at 3/4 of an inch at the top, folded that over, and then this piece is the same measurements as this one right here, okay? So that measures just about 4 1/4 by 3 inches. I rounded the bottom corners of this one, matted this little piece on some tan cardstock, and then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this right on the top, right there. So now we're just creating a little flip out page. And then we're going to just add glue here and here. Whoops, I went too far. And then we're going to just attach that right here. You can see I put a little fleur-de-lis right there, also from the little Dazzle sticker page. Opens right up like that, and then of course you can add, like add your writing here, put another picture, a little cutout there, but just some interactive things that you can do with your little journal. Adding photos from a trip, add more photos in the pocket, add a photo here, and you've got a great little photo journal as well. So yeah, this is a great collection to do photo journals with, or an artist journal. So you guys, this is really beautiful. I think I really enjoyed all the fantastic elements that I could use to make my cards and my journal. And I should actually open the journal so we can see this as we talk. So I would definitely encourage you to check out the Money Saver. It's right there on the right-hand side of the screen. And then all of the other items that I used, all the ink pads, the Dazzle stickers, the little flowers, they're listed down below the video, and you can check those out as well. And if you click on each one of the full color photos listed down below our video at Paper Wishes, you'll see a very specific list of supplies that we used for that project. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, all you have to do is look down below the video in the description box, and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. And while you're on YouTube, it would be great if you would subscribe to our channel. It really helps our small company grow. And don't forget about that Money Saver, you guys. Don't forget to also participate in our card giveaway. Thanks for joining me, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.